Is this company the answer to America's healthcare crisis? We're in Redwood City at MedExpert. We're going to go inside and find out. I'm John Scott. We'll be speaking with the president of MedExpert, Mary Hiller. From CBS Interactive and KCBS All News 740 and FM 1069, this is Homegrown CEO.
We help individuals make medical decisions, and the value of the information we provide is like sitting on the shoulder of the world's expert in that specific issue. We have been saving consistently 17% a year, and that is astonishing. And it's by trusting people to make good decisions in healthcare. Obviously, there is a world of technology underneath this to permit that to happen. But we have developed our technology to the point, primarily supercomputing and artificial intelligence capabilities, to put us where we are now and to allow this pretty phenomenal experience and results. We have a very good relationship with doctors. We have found that by and large, doctors always want to do the most optimal thing for their patients. Part of the problem in our country is that a physician has to see sometimes 24 to 32 patients a day. That's 3 to 5 minutes per patient face-to-face time by the time a doctor finishes taking their notes after and preparing before. So by what we have built is, and also our doctors, we don't say they're best. They don't hold their data in their heads. A physician, above all, understands how to problem solve. They went to medical school and they know what to think in terms of how to solve a problem. What we add that took 10 years to build, and on any given day we can generate more than 200 million different medical reports, because that's the specificity we have to deal with. Mm-hmm. So what our physicians do is they come in the door, and one of our mantras here is, every day I'm a beginner. Because the real problems in healthcare isn't the discovery of information. There's so much stuff discovered. What studies have repeatedly shown that it takes 17 years on an average from point of discovery to get to you, the patient, at the point of time that you need the data. So what we try to do is take that down. So if someone has a knee problem, again, it may be the most appropriate thing to do to scope that issue. Mm-hmm. It may or may not. We don't come in with a prejudicial thinking of is it best, is it not? I mean, first of all, why are you getting it scoped? What was the diagnosis to lead to that? I mean, there's an sundry of issues that you have to sort of sort through. Yeah. RAND is a world famous think tank, and other groups have, and our own think tank believe that healthcare is twice as expensive as it needs to be. We could be healthier based on 50% of the cost we're spending right now. And I haven't seen the last rankings, but we're in the mid-30s in the World Health Organization in terms of quality of life and quality of care. And obviously we're number one in spending. There's a whole lot of reasons, and economics and technology. I mean, you could argue all of those, but still, there's a lot of room for us to improve, to sort of change the paradigm on how healthcare is delivered and make our spend more commensurate with our quality of life. I mean, what started me is in the 1970s, I was in leukemia research at Stanford. And in my 20s, I was absolutely blown away by the fact that if you came to our lab and one other lab in the world and were diagnosed with leukemia, you got to go into remission and live. Anywhere else you did not. That was such a glaring life-death issue of what happens if you have information or don't, and it was just a protocol that we had figured out. So that kind of jarred me. I spent 5 years in that scenario, and then I said, it isn't the discovery, it's the dissemination. So then in the 1980s, we worked in what was medical informatics before it was even coined that, and have spent a lifetime in trying to figure out not only how to tap into the world of information, that's actually relatively easy compared to how do you write the algorithms, how do you store, how do you disseminate, and how do you get into people's lives at the point they're making a decision. One of the worst things is to talk to a mom of a child who had to take a procedure and then 6 months later found out that was completely wrong or unnecessary, and the data was already out there. And now they have a child who may be compromised for life unnecessarily. The guilt the mom feels. I mean, that's sort of the apex of the emotion. Obviously, that goes on and on and on with all of us if we ever find out that the data was out there, but we pulled the trigger a little early and didn't get the data. But you don't have luxury of time. I mean, medicine does not wait. Your body does not wait to aggregate a lot of knowledge when something has to be done. Well, I was so passionate about solving this problem that I purposely probably was blinded to most risks, because I think if you focus on the risks, you'll never get off the dime.
That's right.
So I wanted to just solve a problem and stay committed to the mission of what's in front of us. The patient and the purchaser have always been underrepresented in our healthcare industry. And we have to get along with everybody, but they need a seat at the table, especially because it's the patient who's getting sick, the patient who's maybe going bankrupt because they can't afford their health care, the senior citizen who is having cost shifted all the pharma costs on them. I mean, there's no reason that we can't make sure that every single patient gets the best crack possible.